Hello, this is Filip here from my home office. I will be coding today or continuing to code the what's it called? It's an infinite list sample for Flutter samples, and I have to say, the last time I live streamed, it's probably a month ago or something like this, and you might be thinking, if you missed the first one, will I be able to catch up or whatever? The fact is, I completely forgot what I was doing, and I had no time to actually touch the sample again after that. So what I'll be doing the first few, hopefully just minutes, I will look at the code that I wrote last time. And hello, by the way. I see some people are already commenting on the thread. So I will like to see. I would like to get back on track with that sample, and then hopefully finish it. I don't know if I can actually finish it. I don't know where I am with the sample anyway. So that is to say, if this is the first time you're watching this stream, that's completely okay. You will be fine. You are gonna see me go around this a little bit. So we are talking about a sample. A lot of people were asking for this, like, how do I do infinite scrolling? So it's an app that I just launched on my phone, and it apparently already loads stuff. So that's cool. And so this is what I mean by infinite scrolling. Like, things are being loaded by chunks, as they should, from like an API, but we don't want the user to really care about the chunks that much. They can continually scroll through the sample as they please, which is cool, which is what they expect. And it is our job to make that happen, right? So let's look at the code. There's the infinite lists. We start reading code at main.dot, of course, and that means over here. Okay, so some classic stuff. There's a change notifier of catalog, which was supposed to be the catalog. I guess that's our kind of view model for the catalog that we can use in the UI or without any care. And then we have the homepage, and that homepage just has a huge list view. And if it's loading, and it gets the items by index, and if they're loading, then it will show a loading item tile, which I guess is just a placeholder, right? And a few ellipses. And if we do have an item, then we will just show it, and that's it. We can refresh, apparently, but that does nothing. All right. It looks cool, and then there's the item tile. So that's cool. I think we have something here already for the catalog. So we are get by index finds out the starting index of a page. Right, so we have a map of pages. Okay, that are mapped by their starting index. So there's gonna be a page 0, and then like a page 50 or something, right? Right? Oh, by the way, if this is the first time for you, I have a terrible buffering delay. So whenever I say something and you immediately reply in the chat, I see it like a minute later. So try to predict what I'll be asking a minute in advance, and then we're good. All right, so and then we fetch page, which is an asynchronous method. And after it's done, we notify listeners as we should, because otherwise we would still be showing that placeholder there. Oh, and it seems like, yeah, we are not actually removing the pages that we fetch, which I think I saw, yeah, the to-do clear pages that are not needed anymore. That might be one of the first to-do items that we do. And the fetch base is probably from the API. Okay. And the API, I remember that. I remember that the API was supposed to look a lot like as close as possible while still maintaining samplish simplicity to being like a web API, like a REST API. So it's just basically it's like a function that you call and you get results. And that function is stateless. You don't, you can't really like save anything into it. It's just like, oh, I want a page with this starting index, and there's a constant of how many pages I get by each of those calls, which is pretty close to like what you get in many web APIs that I know. And then there's the item page, which is just like a data class. All right, so what do we need to do? Maybe let's put it somewhere. I'm afraid to open any of my text editors in case I have some stupid things in them. But oh, and by the way, I just upgraded this machine to Flutter stable, and it seems like everything is stable, everything is good, and I'm really happy about this release because it is, as I say, it's boring. It's like no, not particularly featureful unless you think that better performance by default is a feature. I think it is. All right, so to do. So what we need to okay, it looks like the OBS Studio reconnected successfully, but that doesn't mean anything yet, unfortunately. If you missed a couple of minutes, I'm really sorry. I will try to. Well, I didn't do anything cool anyway, so I'll just continue. Hopefully this is the last time it does so, although I have no idea what I did that would... Oh, it's okay now. Okay. All right. Thank you. I don't know when it actually is that you see it. It's okay, but... oh, recap from the to-do. All right, yeah, thank you. So... I made the to-do, and now I'm just going to go from the top, I guess, and try to implement it. There's another to-do that the IDE tells me, which is just the to-do items in my code, but that is very close to what I was going to do anyway. All right, so we have a fetch page here that is actually wrapping the fetch page of the thing, which I guess is cool. So this is the API, and we're fetching it here, but we're fetching it with caching the result and notifying listeners. And now we're also catching it with we're fetching it with removing unused old starting indexes. And I guess I could just say, you know what? First, let's just print debug. Current pages, and that would be pages and just the keys, right? We will need to I guess. It is way more janky than I'd like. Okay. Oh wow. Okay. So yeah, we have this many pages. Even though we're at the 800s, you see here, right? We are seeing that we still have the pages from 0. So I think the easiest thing here is to say max range, which would be a static constant. Max range in cache. Max cache. Max cache length. Man. Terrible. So I will just say, okay, I want only 4 pages up, 4 pages down, right? At most. And I'm not sure why I said 4. Let's say 5. 5 is a better number, right? So 5. Someone's asking. Someone is asking if the what is the app that mirroring the physical device on screen? It's called Visor. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I want to recommend it because I mean it's cool and I'm obviously using it, and it's really good for presenting. But yeah, I can't heartily recommend it, I guess. All right, so back to the code. We are talking about looking at doing like I can't write void prune cache, which will just go through all the keys in the pages. And we need a current starting index. So current starting index. Prune cache around current, starting index. So this method will go through the keys, and if a key in the cache, so a starting index, like for example here, like right, we are at 800. If a key like 0, for example, is way far away, is way too much, it's just too far away from the current index, which is 800, because we're right here. This is our current index. Then we'll just remove it. And actually, max cache radius, is it better? That's probably max cache distance, and it will be in actual numbers, not pages. So let's say we only cache 100, about 100 before and 100 after, or 200, let's say. All right, and now for final key in pages keys, and then if key minus current starting index, excuse me, that should be this, apps is larger than max cache index, then can I change the keys while I'm iterating through them? The return iterable has efficient length and contains based on the order of is defined by the... Yeah, modifying the map while iterating the keys may break the iteration. So this is not great, but we will have to, right? So you generally don't want to modify something that you're iterating on, which we should probably document to document how we shouldn't, I don't know, should we? Oh yeah, shouldn't modify the map while we're iterating. But we keys to remove will be set. For example, final keys to remove is set of int. Why is it? Oh, all right. We should be doing like at least this. Yeah, I'm looking at the talk here, and yeah, there are definitely free alternatives to Visor. Visor is not a free tool, and I mean it's some of it is free, but I'm using the paid version. So yeah, I don't have any. I think I don't have any other experience with other tools, but like this. Anyway, so here we are just saying, oh, okay, so this is more than the max cache index. We should remove it. We can't remove it from the pages itself yet. So keys to remove add key. And then after this, we're just like doing pages remove key and its associated value if present from the map. It sounds great. Remove yeah, for one more, that's fine. We could do it in like a functional way, but why bother? Key to remove pages remove key. Okay, now I want to still print key, oh what, pages keys to string and not 0. And let's see how that goes. So I'm hot restarting. Now we have only 0, right? So the first page, we should go here. Why is it not? Wait. We are at 100 and still have everything in cache, which is great because we can go like this, and that's fine. Now we should be, maybe 200 is too much, right? And see, we have removed the 200 here, which is cool. All right, and now we should be seeing, like, if you go back, yeah, right. Yes, this is what we wanted. I think I'll just make it like 100. Normally you would want to stay a little above because you never know what the UI will look like in, you know, a few years from now, and you don't want things to be like flickering in and out of existence because you're seeing something. You know, imagine that we could see 300 colors at one thing, like for example on a desktop UI, right? And suddenly we would have this max cache distance that is hard coded to 100 or 200. Well, but here we're not worrying about it much. Again, a sample is a sample. It is understood that you don't like think about everything. It's mostly about like, hey, where do I start? How do I do this? Okay, sort, prune cache. I think this all is good. Max cache is here. So we can remove one of our to-do items. If I remember how to use CAC. All right, loading in advance. So this would be basically, you know, oh, get by index remembers. I know I've implemented it at least once in the past. Get by index remembers kind of the how different indexes where it was being asked for, like the history of calls, and from that it can see, oh, the user is scrolling really fast to down, so I should start fetching more than just the current page. I should start fetching pages below that, right? And vice versa. If the user is scrolling up, then we should probably maybe in advance fetch things that are upwards. I don't think that's a good idea in a simple sample like this, so I'll not do that. And I should be reading more of those. Oh yeah. All right. I wonder if that thing that I recorded when OBS was down or the link was down, if it ever gets to YouTube. We'll see. All right, so explaining arithmetic, I don't think it's a good idea to watch me just write documentation, even though that in itself is also coding, but that can be very frustrating to see someone just like type sentences. So I'll not do that. How we should modify? Yeah, this is another documentation thing. So loading in advance will not do. How do I select the whole thing here? This is not Vim, by the way. If you're wondering, if this was Vim, I would know how to do this. All right, now this works. Oh wow, what did I just do? What? So selector for performance. All right, so right now what we're doing with notify listeners is once we fetch anything like a new page, we will notify everyone who does this. Just this. Which means we're literally rebuilding every single item. Which, I mean, look at this. I mean, it makes sense because by the time we're there, we should... Oh, I should also remove the print statement. Print. Right. Hello from Oslo. Hello to Oslo and to Brazil. I love how it's like everyone's somewhere. In like I mean, it's such a distributed community. This is amazing. So we're talking about how we get to what was I talking about? Oh yeah, notifying listeners. I'm not sure. It kind of makes sense to obviously to try to limit the rebuilding, but like when I'm actually here and scrolling down the list, almost all of the items that I'm rebuilding should be rebuilt, right? The problem with notify listeners is if you have like a page and there's some 90 things and 80 of them are the same thing even after an update, and 10 of them should be updated. And then instead of doing that, you're notifying listeners for everyone, and so you rebuild everything. Here I think it's fine. I would need to, you know what, we can do that. We can stop this and do a performance review of this whole thing. Yep. So this will involve some waiting. So I will look at the timeline of the chat and nothing new is coming up, of course. So instead of doing that, I will just wait and drink coffee. Also, someone texted me, and I wonder if it was because of this. And it was not because of this. All right. So now we are in profile mode, right? I'm gonna. It kind of bothers me, this one. So let's just go, and I think you almost see it as fast as I do. So let's just scroll down. Yeah, 0 jank. For me, I don't see any jank. So yeah, this is just debug mode being especially debuggy and slow. See, this is beautiful. I like it. All right. All right, just in case, I'm going to do performance. Let's do this. Boo! Yeah, that's great. Yep. All right. So I guess I could document this like in the README of this as to-do, another to-do. To-do, document how this can look slow in debug, but it's actually beautiful in profile. I mean, I wonder. Let's dig in a little bit, just a little bit. So, I'm installing DevTools anew because I have just upgraded before I started this live stream to the new stable version 1.7. And we are in the performance. Let's not do performance overlay. And let's just go with. Oh, we're recording already? Right. I'm just more accustomed to this view, so I'll just do this. Stop. Right. Well, I mean, let's see. Render object. Render objects being attached do not really feel like a bad thing. Bold text override. Yeah, I think I'm fine with this. If anyone has a good someone's saying hi from Alpha Centauri System Beta 3. It's a nice place, I hear. Very habitable. Yeah, I think I'll just call it today, to be honest. All right. So with the profile at least, right? But you should feel free to scream at me that I'm terrible and I should really do more of this. But let's review, right? So the code, we just have one main. We could put the item tile somewhere else. We could put the API somewhere else as well. I think item is like the, yeah, item is the API class. Yeah. All right. So let's do package. Let's do. Oh, by the way, if you see this, I'm pretty sure if I'm in a project view in the IntelliJ IDEs, and I want to create a new directory, it says package, which would probably create a new directory, but I'm like, nope, I want the files, and now I can do new package. Really? Seriously? I thought, oh, project source files. You know what? All right. Package it is. So, no. Hey. That's a good question on the stream, but I just want to make sure that this is. Am I going crazy now? Why can I just create a? What? This was always just create a new directory, and I don't know why I'm losing this ability now, or if resource manager. Wow, I'm getting lost in my own IDE. That's pretty terrible though, because I'm really sure this was just do package API. Let's see. Yeah, is it just going to, like it says dot. Let's see. Where's the infinite list? So, all right. Lib source. Yep, there it is. It is a directory. Why did I have to write it as a dot? All right. Okay. Back to business. API. The item should be in there. Right. And this should be called something else, I think. Catalog is our nice notifier, which I think is fine. And then item tile could get just here item tile dart, and let's I think we need material, maybe, and of course item. And of course, we need to import it here. And we don't need this. We should also, I mean, I kind of like this kind of import. Maybe we should just do that everywhere. All right. This seems a little nicer. So these are packages. You can also import from your own package using the package thing, but URI, but let's just do this. Right, yeah, we're all over the place now. I think that would be, oh, and This should just be what, a page. Can we just call it page? Right, we can. Of course we can. Page. Right. Okay, back to the chat. So Rafik is asking, what about rendering the list not by page numbers, but a continuous flow, like a feed, using hash for if there is an update from the server, shift the list and push new items, otherwise no changes. That is completely okay. I think you would have to have another field that says how long each page is. I mean, it's always going to be a batched process, right? Like you almost never, you don't want to have an API or web API that you can only ask for like a single thing. It would generally say, even if it's a single thing, it would say like, hey, here's a list of new things. It's one item long. But even, you know, like on Twitter, for example, if you have new updates, it comes with like, oh, 6 new things. So the difference from here is, here we have constant items per page, which is something that lots of eShops do. Even if you have something like Reddit or Hacker News, it will also have, you know, a set number of things per page. What you are describing is, oh, like every page could have different number of items, and it tells you that, and it will, for example, give you like a token for the next one. Or if it's a stream, it will just be like, hey, by the way, there's a new one, and it's 6 items long. So it will be a little more involved, but not that much. To be honest, I think it would just say, the item page would just give you new things. Oh, we have a has next. Huh. Should we use it? We probably should. Okay. All right. So another to-do list item is to someone saw my trouble with the project file. Khaled is like, okay, VS Code. Yeah. I mean, everything has its ups and downs, I guess. We are talking about, yeah, has next. Should we use it? It would be good. Anyway, we are now moving things around. This all is basically just one feature, and that is browsing the catalog. So I'm fine with putting it all into one lump, right? If this was like, oh, and I can buy things, then maybe I would create a new subdirectory that is like buying things and or shopping, or details, and that would contain its own everything. But here, this is just a catalog, right? So nothing else. All right, so are we happy with this structure? So we have a main, and in the main we have the home page. We could call it something else. Sure. We could say the catalog page. And we can also put it here. Nah. I like to sort automatically. If you have a catalog page here, then my app gets sorted under catalog page, and then I'm set. Let's go back to homepage. See, if I was, again, if this wasn't the sample, I would just go with whatever I want, and I would also not have my homepage widget in the main method. Main dart. But here I'm just trying to, you know, stay out of everyone's hair and make everything very, very simple. So yeah, we have the item tile, which is a widget, and the catalog, which is a notifier. And here in the API, we have the kind of the data class that is item, and the data class that is item page, and then the fetch page. I guess I could just put it here, to be honest. I think it should go over here. Fetch dart item page item, and we talked about this last time. I hate using, you know, in a web API file, I should not be using Flutter material, but again, for the simplicity's sake, I think that's fine. All right, and now, yeah. So this has been very, very, very amusing, I'm sure, just watching me move around files. This is what programming is all about, as you know. Yeah, all right. So I'm happy with this. I shall use Git to... But do I have this infinite list somewhere? Hey, no? All right, in that case, git status, git add everything, git commit. What? Implement cache pruning. Whatever, nobody's gonna read that one. And hello, this Rodrigo is talking in, I guess, Spanish or Portuguese, and which is great because with the arithmetic too, things little. Yeah, there's Khalid is talking about the to do in the arithmetic, which is here. Yeah, I will get to it, but I wanna, as I said before, I don't wanna spend time thinking about how to phrase stuff in front of a camera. So all right, so we moved things around. I'm pretty happy with this now, and the refresh button does nothing. And also, I think we have the has next. So this should be this should sometimes say false, and that is when we kind of stop at the end of the list. This is important because you would be surprised, but most lists, even the infinite lists, are not actually infinite, and you will at some point get it to the very end of it. So what if we just I don't think we're actually checking it at any point. So let's do if starting index is 200. Let's go this way. What did I just? What? then, oh, like this. Are we actually checking has next at any point? No, we're not. So the page that is, oh, man. Actually, you know what? Because this would mean that catalog. So right now what I'm trying to wrap my head around is most APIs will have a limited amount of things to provide, and then after that they will not have a way, you know, that there's like a 250 items, and after the 250th item there's nothing. You want to end your scrolling, you want to be sure that to communicate to the user that there's nothing there to load, right? And ideally we would, by fetching the last page, we would see, oh, it has no next, which means this is the end, folks. Oh, yeah. So we could have like another change notifier or a field on the catalog that says this is either null if we are not sure that we hit the whole number of items that we should, or it is the number of items, because we then can put it over here with the list view builder. So list view builder takes count, yeah, item count, right? If you don't provide it, or if you say it's null, then the item count is assumed infinite. If you do provide it, then for example, we could do it just now, like 20. Excuse me. What? Oh, this is because I'm in profile mode. All right. Maybe I should be doing this in debug mode. See, this is why we have this banner there. I know it's kind of annoying, but at least, you know, it's immediately obvious if something like this happens to you. You're like, oh yeah, I am in profile mode. There's no debug banner there. And on the opposite side, like if something is janky and slow, and you can immediately check, oh, I'm actually in debug mode. So yeah, it should be like that. So all right, so now the item count is 20, and see, I am at the end of this. It is also, obviously this would look different on Apple devices and stuff, but that's cool, right? So I could be listening to catalog even here and seeing how many items do we have, and if it's null, then I just go until I hit that number. Maybe I should implement it. I don't know. I don't want to make it too complex. Yeah, the thing with this is, if I do that, if I do it as a simple like field on change notifier, I mean on catalog, and I notify, and I then listen to the notifier, not just here in the items, but also here in the build method, because I want to put it here. Then basically every time I fetch anything, I rebuild everything from scaffold down. So that's something that I want to do, because also, let's just get rid of this. Nobody's gonna refresh like a catalog. So I could just do a consumer selector. Yeah, all right, let's do a selector, because it is a little too much, but okay. Selector. So what does it give us? It gives us a selector. I haven't used this that much, so let's check the documentation. Yeah, so Rafik is saying in real case, if API returns empty list, stop scrolling. That is true, some APIs do that, but also for the to save that one last scroll out to the, not the scroll, but to save the one last HTTP request, they will often have a has next field on every request. And or maybe they will have something like next page tokens and previous page token. And if it's null, or if it's something like has next false, then you know to not, you don't need to create another HTTP request to get the next page, right? So yeah, Rodrigo, welcome to the club, man. This is great. All right, so selector works like this. Let me just quickly jump around here. Right, so provider generally works like this. Wherever you have this provider.off catalog, you are magically subscribed this part, this context, which means this like little widget here is subscribed to the catalog, which means that when catalog calls its method notify listeners, which is you know, something that change notifiers have, then this will be called again. Item builder will be called again. Selector is a little nicer because it's I mean, what I shouldn't try to talk while I'm thinking. Selector lets you subscribe to things, but it will only rebuild its children if something is true, and that something is the selector function. So once again, let's go to the docs, and this actually tells it much better than I would probably. Okay. Yes, this is too much information. I just want to know the builder and the selector takes, right, and it has a child. We don't need the child, so builder context catalog. Oh man. List view function. Oh, child. Right, so we're not, we can't really give you child there. Except maybe this, but that's kind of lame. So, so that's fine. There's two type parameters. The first one is, we should document this. The first one is the change notifier or whatever, the thing being provided, and S is the thing that we're kind of extracting there. So, and in this case, that would be int. Have I lost everyone? Hello? Oh, Scott Stall is saying, if you were to use a value notifier and your method that changes it doesn't call notify listeners, then your value notifier will trigger without causing the consumer to rebuild everything. That's true. There was something in my mind as well. I could have a value notifier in the catalog, and then just have value notifier something. But I think that since we are kind of already using the provider package for kind of state management and updating state everywhere, I think this is a little nicer. But I'm not at all sure. You're right that I would probably do it that way with a value notifier or value notifier, but we would have to use. Now I'm doubting myself, Scott. Thank you. No, let's do it the selector way. So selector it's also selector can give you. So catalog. Does it only take catalog? Oh, it takes context. Okay. And we will just add the and item count, and again this is null, and once again we are not making it more complex than we absolutely need. We normally would probably have a getter here and stuff like this so that no one else can touch item count, but it's fine. Catalog item count, and which means that here we have catalog. Oh, item count is catalog item count. Excuse me, item. Oh, it selects for us just the item. Okay, item count. See, I'm always finding new things. Okay, Scott has is extends change notifier value notifier. Yep. Yeah. That's what I was talking about. Yeah, but Scott, add the. Yes, but then Scott, you have to also introduce a widget, the value notifier listeners builder or whatever it's called, which might be. It would be a good idea if you're just doing your own stuff, but I think that there's a balance, and I think if we're trying to teach provider and things, we should do this. But you're right. All right, so we have this now, and it's always null right now. So we haven't changed anything about how this works, but we could now say, oh, whenever we fetch a new page, and if final page is page, and then if page, if there's no hasnext for the page, then we update the item count to be starting index plus page items length. Right? Right. I think. And so let's hot restart. Did I get everything right? So we should now stop at about 200. Okay. And we are not stopping at all. What? Oh, is there is there a race condition here? Right. Let's see if this is a race condition. It looks very race condition-y. If we go more slowly, and also are we printing anything? No. If you go like this, Scott and Khalid are talking, and I really can do two things at once, so I'm just gonna scroll. All right, we're approaching 200. If we can't overshoot now because we were scrolling too slowly, then this is a race condition, right? So we were able to overscroll before because we were faster than the update, and we're not. What is going on here? Oh yeah. Yeah. Huh, okay. I don't know why we're stopping at 220 instead of 200. But what do I know? Right. So we're fetching pages. Huh. If page has next, then item count is updated to that. And that means okay. We should just let's say we should just say const catalog length. This is something that nobody else knows except for the API itself, right? So we'll say it's 200. And if starting index is more than catalog length, then we are returning an item page with items nothing and starting index. All right, starting index, and then has next is false, obviously. And that is that. And then catalog length should probably be here as well. Okay, let's try again. We have a API that actually does not provide you with anything beyond the 200. Before it happily provided you with things that are more than that. Why? Why do I get 220? Can someone tell me that? I'm just gonna print stuff. I don't care. Print starting index. All right. What? Yeah. Okay, so 0. Okay. Why was I fetching? Okay. Why am I fetching it twice? See, this is why we debug. Why am I fetching things twice here? Oh, because we don't know that we are fetching things. Okay. Well, that's fun. So we are, whenever we call get by index, we're like, okay, do we have? No, we don't. Fetch page. we're not thinking if things are actually being fetched at that point. So we need set of pages being fetched, which is if pages being fetched contains the starting index, then page is already being maybe we should just put it here, to be honest. Yeah, if page is being fetched contains starting index, then page is already being fetched. Very descriptive. Return, right? We don't want to, we just go and we just return that the item is loading. That's fine. Which means if it's not, then pages being fetched at starting index. And then when we fetched it, then we are saying pages being fetched, remove starting index, right? Let's do it again. 0, we should not see 0 again. 20, 40, right, 60, 80, 100, 120, 160. Like, am I missing something? Why? Why are we fetching 220? Why are we fetching 200? When in fetch, when you get to 200, starting index, when starting index is 200, Oh, because, yeah, right. So 200 is still there, but okay. 200 is there, but it has no next page. That makes sense. I kind of want to... I want to... What I would normally do is I would have a little bit of arithmetic here saying like, okay, so let's take the minimum of either the items per page or the remaining number of things in the catalog. Do we want to do that though? Isn't that a little... Because this is literally, this is the web API, right? Like we should not have a lot of things here to kind of simulate stuff. All right, you know what? If starting index plus items per page, let's do this. And let's hot restart. Yeah. You're getting the next 20. Yeah. Now you got it. I'm just stupid. Fetch page does not throw at all, I think. It can, worst case scenario, it can give you an empty item page with no has next. All right, let's go. So we have this, and now we should stop at 120. Yes. Thank you. All right, color number 0 to color number 199. We are removing this print statement. Phew. All right, so that was has next, and I think I'm already over engineering this a little bit. What I do need to do is explain selector and item count. Okay. Loading item. Okay. Yep. I think if I'm correct, I am basically done with this very simple example modulo the documentation. So thank you for watching. I know this has been probably excruciatingly slow and kind of all over the place, but we have this. You should expect to a PR sometime, hopefully today, if I still can get to it. And I was hoping to get to do these every either week or every 2 weeks, and just work on whatever I have at the time. It's kind of hard because sometimes, you know, you want to like reply to emails and stuff like this, and you can do that on a stream. But I think it's kind of nice to be able to be in touch even though we can't be in person.